welcome to Darling Stadium, where tonight the Maury Commodores invade us here to play our host, the Phoebus Phantoms. Tonight, the Eastern Region Championship game for the state of Virginia. Playoffs. One more game.
At least one more game.
And the Phoebus Phantoms, again, the Eastern Region champions, they were the division runner-ups in the Peninsula District, and they have advanced to the regional finals. We kind of hoped that the other opponent tonight would have been the Crabbers, but unfortunately for the Crabbers, Maury came out on top, and that's the way it is when you play football. You have to play the game.
You really do.
Tonight, the Phoebus Phantoms come in here, and they're going to have to play very well against a Maury offense that does a lot of throwing and very successful at it. We'll take it down to the field now with Brent Musgrove, and he has the coach of the Maury Commodores, Mr. Dalton Cotton, down there for an interview.
Thanks, Mike. I'm here with Coach Dalton Cotton of the Maury Commodores. First, let me tell you people a little bit about Coach Cotton. Originally played at Granby High School, went to East Carolina College, coached at several places in North Carolina, took over the head coaching job at Maury 3 years ago, a team that went 28-2 the 3 years prior to you coming in. And since then, you went 5-5 the first year. Last year, you made the playoffs, and you're back in the playoffs again. That's a pretty good start for taking over a head job at an old school like that. How do you feel about some of the talent you've molded?
Well, you know, again, the talent was always there. We got great kids at Maury, great coaches, and, you know, it's a privilege for me to coach these guys. So, you know, I look at it more as a privilege for me to be associated with a great group of people.
Well, your staff, did you put that together yourself, or some people already there?
Yeah, we had several of those coaches, mainly the JV coaches remained from the old staff, but we added a few little twists to it, and you know, guys with the same vision that you know, that we wanted to come in with, and you know, guys that want to make a difference for kids.
Well, last week, I got to go back to that game. It's going to be a legend around here, that game you could pull out in 40-some seconds. I got to get you to tell me a little bit about your quarterback, if you will.
Well, Stephen Kelly, kid that transferred to us from Indian River last year. Just a remarkable kid. You know, came in, has just been one of those kids that's learned the system, adjusted to what we're doing. You know, because where he was at before didn't do exactly the same thing we did, and you know, just caught on to the offense, and you know, helped us out a lot.
Well, you got Phoebus tonight. Third time you've played him in about 12 months, I think. And I'm just going to ask you the same old question. Do you see anything different? You expect anything different from Phoebus? Have you done anything different in preparation?
No, we haven't. Well-coached team. You know, Coach D does a great job of getting his kids prepared, and we're prepared. And you know, our ultimate goal, as I said earlier, is to win the ball game. And you know, that's the bottom line. We want to win this ball game and advance to the state tournament.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for taking the time. We've had a chance to talk some this week, and I know we're going to see you again with the records you're putting together. Thanks again for coming over to see us. If you just stay here right a second. Well, Mike, it looks like we got a game on our hands. If you go by last week, what's coming now? So I'll take it back up to you.
Thanks, Brent. I tell you, Paul, this is going to be a very interesting game. The one main thing that I see that the Phantoms have to do is they have to stop the passing.
Exactly.
That young man did a heck of a job last week against the Crabbers, who have done well against the pass. And one of the things that the Phantoms are going to have to do is they just plain have to stop the passing. So we expect a 5-4 defense normally for the Phantoms. Maybe they're going to change it up a little bit and move a couple of, and you know, put a couple of backs back there to help with the passing.
We'll have to see. I'm not sure you get this far, you don't make too many changes.
Well, yeah, that's true. Let's see what Bill D has to say. He's got it down there with Brent Musgrove. Bill D with the interview down on the field.
Thanks again, Mike. Guys, standing here with Coach Bill D. 9-1 regular season. Took your first playoff game last week against a team that was rated very high, very strong. Shut them out 24-zip. Coach, were you surprised with the results?
Well, I thought we could, you know, shut them down. I didn't know if we could shut them out, but, you know, I was very pleased with the kids' effort, and, you know, we came out and played hard, and hopefully we continue tonight.
Well, you got Maury tonight, third time in 12 months. You expecting anything different? Are they improved? What do you think?
They're a good football team. You know, they got a lot of the same weapons we faced earlier in the year. They're not, you know, what we've seen, they haven't done a lot different, but, you know, they might have a little wrinkle in here and there for this game. Maybe something on defense. You know, I don't know. You know, but I'm sure they're going to do everything they can to win just like us.
I was pleasantly surprised that Boyd threw a few times in key situations and even had one drop that should have been for a touchdown and threw a nice little pass into the end zone. Give me a little comment on about how he's come along, if you would.
Well, you know, we've come to the point in the season where he's developed into a seasoned quarterback now, and we feel he can do a lot of things now, and we can put a little more of the game on him that we didn't early in the year until we got him. You know, he needed to get some playing time and get a lot of experience, which he has now.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Mathis Brown tonight. I think that's where it's going to start out. I just want to say I heard you put in for some more equipment over at your field this year. You put in for 2 lifeguard stands this past week just so you could get practice in.
It was a rough week preparation-wise, but the kids were great. You know, they never complained 1 minute, and they did everything they had to.
Well, Coach, this is our 5th time together so far this season. I'm looking forward to another, and thanks again for taking the time to come over and see us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, running game with normal Phoebus. Let's go get them. Thanks again.
Thanks, Brent. Well, tonight's game is brought to you by Zoom's, Sitco with locations throughout the peninsula, along with the Subway located at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue, where great subs, salads, and wraps. And in part by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Call Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Call 881-2004. And by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armstead Avenue, where Nancy Staten is the director. Our officials for tonight are...
They are the referee, Jimmy Orr, the umpire, Jim Duke, the linesman, Hal Zach, the line judge, Tyrone Goodwin, the field judge, Mike Lowenberg, the side judge, Tim Russell, and the back judge, James Cole.
And the coin flip has already taken place. We missed that during the interviews. The Phoebus Phantoms will be receiving, and they will defend the west end of the stadium as the Maury Commodores. They won the toss and deferred to the second half. So Phoebus gets it first.
Mike, here's the lineup. The Phoebus Phantom offense. Number 10, Taj Boyd, the quarterback. Number 12, Donnell Dixon, the split end. Number 27, Dennis Mathis, the tailback. Number 32, Haroon Brown, the fullback. Number 51, Charlie Jones at left tackle. Number 55, Robbie Davis at center. Number 62, Dominic Davenport at left guard. Number 64, Andre Purnell at right tackle. Number 75, Maurice Hampton at right guard. Number 80, William Wheeler at tight end. And number 84, Reed Evans, the flanker. And out on the field, of course, the kicker as well, they won't have the kicker this time.
If you want to, go ahead and pull a defense out there, because right now they're still haven't come on the field.
Waiting for the Maury team. Here's their defense when they take the field. Number 2, Lorenzo Branch, the linebacker. Number 5, Diary McCain, cornerback. Number 8, Brandon Broom, safety. Number 9, Larry Armstead, linebacker. Number 11, Nick Martin, defensive line. Number 20, Trayvon Williams, linebacker. Number 21, James Butts, cornerback. Number 30, James Scott, linebacker. Number 55, Travis Branch, line. Number 78, DeCarlos Melton, line. And number 81, Tim Hines, linebacker. Well, Mike, this game is shaping up to be a good one. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, we have a team from the south side, Maury, who is known more or less for their passing. 1,600 yards plus for Stephen Kelly, the quarterback. They're facing a team from the peninsula, the Phoebus Phantoms, who are more known for their running.
And this is Keith Wright for the Commodores kicking off. And I believe that is number 12. Breaks free up the middle. One tackle to get him, and he did. And that was Donnell Dixon on the run back all the way to the Maury Commodore 42-yard line. Great run back to start off the game for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Mike, that's something you don't want to let Phoebus do. You give them an advantage like that, and they are going to get on a roll.
So what a great opening for the Phantoms. Nice run back all the way to Maury's 42-yard line, where Taj Boyd's the quarterback for the Phantoms, will take over. 1st and 10 Phoebus from the 42.
Here's that run. You see him split the seam, gets by a couple of tacklers, and Mike, a nice run.
One block away from making it. And there goes Mathis up the middle on the left-hand side. It gets about 4 on the plate to about the 38-yard line. 2nd down and 6 for the Phantoms.
And, Mike, this is what we plan to see all night long from the Phoebus Phantoms. Dennis Mathis is the go-to running back. Just a great year this year. Mathis leading rusher in the Peninsula District, 1,600-plus yards in rushing.
Well, that was not even including last week's performance of
200
almost 200 yards.
But we'll see a lot of him, along with number 32, Haroon Brown.
Here is Mathis again up the middle. close to the 35. Looks like he may be right on the 35. Looks like he might be about 3 yards shy of the first down. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Phantoms.
Mike, he was stopped on that play by 6'2", 310-pound DeCarlos Melton of Maury, number 78. He was down on the field earlier before the game started, and he appears to be one of the biggest men on the team.
Well, we've set ourselves up now with our first possible passing down, but with Mathis and Haroon Brown in the backfield, that might not work out either. He'll see what they do. Again, it's Mathis. Looks like he got maybe 2 on the play. He's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
He was scored by the defense that time, Mike.
Yep, that's right.
You can watch this. Tim Hines, number 81, is one of the 4 or 5 tacklers on that left side that gets in there and grabs him from the back. But they didn't give him anywhere to go.
So here we go with our first 4th down attempt of the game, as the Phantoms will come up to the line of scrimmage, needing a yard for the first down.
And I'll be surprised if anybody other than Mathis ends up with the ball.
Let's see if he tries to draw them off sides, and he did.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, the offensive end took off running too, but I think that the Maury Commodore was offside first.
Well, we'll see what they say here. They're talking about it down there on the field.
Dead ball. Defense offside.
Yeah, he had to have jumped off before the offensive man moved, and that's what happened. 5-yard penalty gives him a first down.
And here we'll be able to see it on the replay if we get that back up there. Here it comes, and you can see the movement on the defense.
And they were right on. The defense on the Maury side was right on the ball, too. So he was the nose tackle, was the one that jumped. Here we go. 1st and 10, ball inside the 30. Mathis again on a sweep to the left. Nice block. It picks up a couple of yards near the 25. Depends on where they mark it at.
Good containment there, Mike, by number 21, James Butts of Maury, as he kept Mathis. If you can see number 21, I don't know whether we'll see him here. There he is right there.
Great blocking by Haroon Brown there. They marked the ball at the 26-yard line, a gain of 2. 2nd down and 8 now for the Phantoms.
Phoebus trying to establish their running game early here in the first quarter.
Donnell Dixon is wide to the left, again up the middle to nice run from Mathis of about 5 yards on the play.
Travis Branch, number 55, along with Lorenzo Branch, number 2, make the stop up the middle.
Ball sits at the 23-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and almost 5 for the Phantoms.
Mike, he had a nice little hole there to go through. Just got tripped up, looked like by number 20, Trayvon Williams, and then hit by the other 2 tacklers.
There's a pitch out to Mathis. Nice little play. Get outside. And he's down near first down territory. It's going to be depending on where they mark it.
It's going to be close. Lorenzo Branch, number 2, in on the stop.
First down. He got the ball down to the 17-yard line, where the Phantoms will get a 1st and 10.
Nice little option pitch there, Mike, on the play. Opened up the side for Mathis as they've been going up the middle. Yeah. It appears that Maury is trying to contain everything and keep them inside. That's normally where Mathis will run. I'm kind of surprised at that. But we'll see what happens as the game goes on.
Reed Evans outside to the far side of the field. And there goes Mathis up the middle. He's in for the touchdown. So the Phoebus Phantoms take advantage of a 4th down offside penalty to get the first score of the game.
And Mike, once again, they took advantage of giving Mathis the inside. They've been trying to contain him on the outside, so they just ran it up the middle, right off tackle, and he just sheds the tackler, gets a nice block, and into the end zone he goes. Once again, that Phoebus offensive line doing a great job to get open holes for their run.
This is Cole for the extra point out of the hold of Boyd. Almost blocked, and it's up and good. So the Phoebus Phantoms
8:40 in the first quarter here at Darling Stadium. You're watching WHCS Channel 46 as we bring you the Eastern Region Finals. And Phoebus is on the board. And Mike, that was quick.
Well, that fourth down offside penalty really hurt the Commodores on that play. It gave the Phantoms a 1st and 10 inside the 30-yard line, and it allowed them to keep the drive going, and they just marched right down the field and scored.
And you're right. It's kind of surprising. Here's a replay of that touchdown. You see him take to the inside. Look at the blocking out in front of him there. And, of course, Mathis, with his agile running ability, slips a tackle and gets in. But that line for Phoebus is doing a heck of a job, and we talked about that last week in their win against Lake Taylor. So the Phoebus Phantoms out to a 7-0 lead.
Back deep for Maury is Merrill Thornton and Lamar Johnson. And setting up to kick the ball now for the Phantoms is number 95, Matt Cole. So it's Phoebus 7 and Maury nothing here to start the early here in the first quarter of the Eastern Region Championship game. There's the kickoff, and it's over to number 1 Thornton at about the 10-yard line. Cuts across the field. He's being dragged. Great job there.
Great pursuit by the Phoebus Phantoms to come down this side of the field. As Maury sets up for the offense, here's how they're going to go, ladies and gentlemen. Number 5, Diary McCann, wide receiver. Number 6, Leroy Reynolds, wide receiver. Number 7, Stephen Kelly, quarterback. Number 8, Brandon Brooms, tight end. Number 20, Trayvon Williams, running back. Number 25, Brian Oliver, fullback. Number 51, Steve Spence, guard. Number 53, Jamel Giddens, tackle. Number 66, Alan Jacobson, guard. Number 70, Vinston Painter, tackle. Number 72, Bryson Parker, center. And there you have the offense for
Here we go with Kelly. He hands off to the tailback, number 20, and that's Williams.
And guess what he was introduced to there, Mike?
He was introduced to the entire front line of the defense of the Phoebus Phantoms, and nothing there.
And here is the Phoebus defense. Number 5, Aaron Hawkins at linebacker. Number 7, Landon Givers at end. Number 8, Nathaniel Motley at safety. Number 9, Derek Davenport at corner. Number 11, Darius McMillan at linebacker. Number 15, Charlie Smith, linebacker. Number 32, Haroon Brown at linebacker. Number 44, Landis Beggs at end. Number 58, Terry Lyles, the nose guard. Number 62, Dominic Davenport at tackle. And number 84, Reed Evans at cornerback. And a tough defense it is.
4 wideouts now, 2 to the near, 2 to the far side. Back to throw. Over the middle. Oh, man. I tell you what, the ball was thrown high, and it was a good thing for the Phantoms because it was right there on target. That was intended for number 5, McCann, as the ball was overthrown. Nice pattern.
Hit? Somebody made a nice hit on that play, too, as the receiver went up.
So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 11 with the ball sitting at the 15-yard line.
Watch this replay, Mike. It's a good, strong throw, but it is high, and boom, he gets hit. I can't tell that number on there. It looked like number 7, maybe.
3rd and 11 now for the Commodores. Again, back in the shotgun is Kelly. Back to throw. Being flushed out. Had him in the backfield. They still have him. Big loss for the Phantoms as he's brought down by number 62, Davenport, and number 7, Givers. Big loss of 10 yards back to the 5-yard line. So Phoebus's defense,
Davenport and Givers getting in there quickly, chasing the quarterback Kelly. See him right here. He's under pressure. That offensive line just broke down, Mike. No question about it.
So they're going to have to punt out of their own end zone.
Going to give Phoebus good field position depending on the return.
42 is right on the kick. Nice punt. Fair catch is called by the Phantoms. And that is number 84, Reed Evans, on the fair catch, as the Phantoms will have great field position starting 1st and 10 at the Maury 32-yard line.
Phoebus's defense once again stepping it up, just like we saw last week when they played Lake Taylor. They put the pressure on.
3 and out, 3 plays or 2 plays for losses. One was a big that 3rd down play. Great job by the defensive line of the Phantoms.
I think the Phantoms realize they're going to be up against the passing team, and they're just going to come after him.
Boyd now under center. Here's a handoff again to Mathis, right straight up the middle for a couple at best. but they're inside the 30 down to close to the 29. Gain of about 3 on the play. Second down and 7 for the Phantoms.
Phantoms running off the right side so far tonight, Mike. And, of course, they're getting some good runs from Mathis, the running back. But on the right side of the line, they've got some great O-line people up there.
If you remember last week, they had a lot of success running off to the left side.
Left side last week. And this time it's the right side. You've got Andre Purnell at right tackle and Maurice Hampton at right guard. And they're opening up some big holes over there. And that was going to be my point. Last week it was the left side. This side it's the right side.
Steal your thunder.
That's okay. Speaking of thunder.
Thunder and lightning back here, as we've been calling them for weeks now.
Haroon Brown.
Reed to the near side. Dixon to the far side again. This is the handoff to Haroon Brown up the middle. Down inside the 20 to the 19. Gosh darn, that was a great play. Off to the left side and had a lot of room to run that time.
There he is. There he is, Mr. Thunder. And he takes it off the left side that we were just talking about.
He run right over number 2. That's a Lorenzo Branch for the Commodores. Had no match to try to stop that running attack.
And I'm guessing that Charlie Jones and Dominique Davenport on the left side of the line heard us talking about him and decided they were going to show you they can run over the left side just like last week.
Here's Haroon Brown again up the middle. Looks like he's still going to pick up about 3 or 4 as he gets the ball down near the 15-yard line.
Had 4 defensive players on him to stop him there, Mike, that time, but he still picks up yardage. Watch Haroon Brown, number 32, as he takes the handoff, just go right up the middle. He slips 1 tackle, runs into a defensive player, and is finally corralled by 3 others before he stopped.
Looks like they set the ball down on the 16. That will bring up a second down and 7. Gain of 3 for Brown. Boyd again under center. Again, that is lightning and thunder behind him is Mathis.
There goes some movement on that defensive line. They've got everybody
5 yards more on the play as it looks like the Commodores jumped again.
Dead ball. Defense offsides. 5 yards.
There you can see him jump off. And, Mike, they had everybody but 2 players on the line of scrimmage. So Maury playing strictly for the run. And
it won't be long
that's
before
what they're going to get.
So that breaks it second down and 2 now for the Phantoms.
There's a good shot there from the field level.
Brown gets hit at the line, and it looks like he's stopped there. As looks like the lead tackler there was number 20 on the play, Trevon Williams.
Maybe he's going to be a little short.
Looks like he picks up maybe a yard at best. Third down and short now.
Here's a replay. Let's see if we can see Haroon Brown. He takes the first handoff, almost gets knocked down there, retains his feet. He probably gets a yard or 2.
Yep. Trevon Williams made a pretty good play there. Wrapped him up around the ankles and kept him from going any further. 7-0 Phoebus.
Third and short, we're going to see them. They're backing off the line. They've got about 7 on the line.
Mathis off the right side and lots of yards there to get the first down. So they will be set up now first and goal at about the 7-yard line.
That time the defense for Maury backed off as they had about 4 or 5 people off the line. You can see it there, and that is going to create some holes when you've got that Phoebus line firing off the way they are.
So first and goal from the 7. Already up on top of the Commodore 7-0. And this has basically been a run game because the Phantoms have not thrown yet. Here is again Mathis near the end zone, and he is.
And that's Haroon Brown.
It looks like one referee is saying he's in, and the other one is saying he's down. We have a signal from the far side referee. It is a touchdown. There it is. Let's see if we can see the replay.
You see Haroon Brown gets the handoff, goes right up the middle on this one, and looks like he just kind of dives there at the last minute, Mike, to get into the end zone. And that may have been why they were taking a little bit of time to see if they had seen a knee go down or something beforehand. But it wasn't, so he's in.
13-0 now. Extra point attempt by Matt Cole. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Phoebus 14, Maury
3:47 left here in the first quarter at Darling Stadium. You're watching WHCS Channel 46 as we bring you our Friday night football, and this time it's the Eastern Region Championship game.
Last year, these two teams met. Let's watch the replay of the
touchdown here.
Play.
Brown with some, look at that hole.
Brown right up the middle. And I'm not sure where the other, the near side linesman was marking it at about the 2. I'm not sure about that,
but you can see number 75, Maurice Hampton, out there, who had just blown off the line and opened up a great big hole. Hey, take our picture right up here.
14-0 as Maury has jumped on the Maury, or
Phoebus has jumped on the Maury.
Real quick here in the first quarter.
There's the
3:47 to go.
Kevin Davis of Phoebus High School, assistant principal, out there in the stands.
Cheering his school on. Will be teeing the ball up now as he gets ready to kick the ball off deep to the Maury Commodores. Back is number 1, Merrill Thornton, and Lamar Johnson, number 12 for the Commodores. A little pooch kick to the near side over there. Taken at the 13-yard line is finally brought down. Armstead on the carry, and that is the Phantoms, number 25, Chaz Robinson, on the tackle. So Maury gets a pretty decent field position to start this set of downs.
Not a deep kick. He gets it on the 13, takes it back to about the 8 or 9 yard line before he gets his footing and takes it back upfield. Got some decent yardage on that return.
So 1st and 10 for Maury at their own 27-yard line.
Watch the Phoebus defense set up here. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people back. There's 4 wideouts for Maury.
Back in the shotgun again is Kelly. Dropping back to pass. A little short pass over here is completed.
That's number 21 for Maury, and that is James Butts.
Going to pick up maybe about 8 yards on the play out to the 35-yard line.
Here's a replay on that. James Butts, the secondary receiver, or the number 2 receiver for Maury. He's wide open over here on this side of the field around the 30-yard line. Good pass by Kelly to get it to him. Butts again, with about 300 yards in the season.
Again, they're set up with 4 wideouts, 2 to the near and 2 to the far. This time he keeps the ball out of the shotgun. Is going to lose about 3 yards on the play back to the 32-yard line.
Mike, that play didn't look pretty. When he had the ball, we're not sure whether he was going to pass it or hand it off, but he had about 3 or 4 Phoebus Phantoms in there.
He
just came right
pitch,
in. Look at that.
He didn't pitch the ball out to the running back.
Well, there was no blocking there on the line on that part. When you have 3 or 4 defensive players in the backfield with you, that's not a good sign. So they're going to have to throw that ball and get rid of it quick here.
3rd down and 5. Ball sits at the 32-yard line. Kelly this time under center. He hands the ball off to up the middle, and I don't understand that at all. On a 3rd down and 5, I guess they were maybe trying to
catch Phoebus asleep or something, but that's not going to happen.
He maybe got a yard at most. That's going to bring up a 4th down and 4.
Here's the replay on that. They just get stopped right there at the line of scrimmage, Mike. This Phoebus defense is blowing off the line. They're coming in quick. And part of that is the fact that they know they're facing a passing team, and they're going after the quarterback. And if anybody's in the way, they're going to get him too. And it's going to be tough for Maury to run. That's all I've got to say.
This is Keith Wright back in punt formation for Maury. And that ball was almost blocked. It wasn't touched. Oh, man.
Look out. That is one of the funniest.
Why are they calling it dead here? Either way, the ball bounces out of the receiver's hand. That was Reed Evans right straight into Maury's hands. And according to Virginia High School rules, on a botched punt like that, you can't advance the ball, so it's dead at the point where he called it.
Let's watch this. It looked like it was going to get blocked, and you can see one of the Phoebus players going into the kicker. Now watch this, Mike, as it comes down, goes right into Evans' hands and right into the Maury defender. And try to get a number on there, number 81.
Why he's not allowed to run that back because he caught that in the air.
Mid-air. That was number 81, Tim Hines.
Either way, the Phantoms lose possession on a fumble on the botched punt. 1st and 10 from the Phantoms' 42-yard line is Maury. Little screen pass out to the right flat is complete. Kelly's pass is completed out there to number 21, James Butts, and it looks like a gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. Just inside the 40-yard line where the Phantoms defense is going to have to come up big again.
Butts came in motion from the left-hand side. They had 4 wideouts, and he just kind of came across and just stood there and took the little pass.
Give him a gain of 3 on the play.
You see 127 left in the game here at Darling Stadium.
Look at this. They've got 5 wide receivers, 3 to this side of the field.
2 to the far side.
And there's a player in motion coming. There's 4 wideouts to the near side. Kelly's being flushed out, and down he goes.
Mike, every one of those receivers was covered in a man-to-man. There was nobody to throw to.
Landon Givers was all over Kelly on that play. I tell you what, when they spread the field like that against a defensive front like the Phantoms have, you're not blocking anybody.
You got to throw it. You got to do something with it other than stand there and wait for him to come in, because if you give them that much time, that Phoebus defense is going to get to you.
I believe that was Darius McMillan that actually got the tackle there. A big loss of, about 7 yards on the play.
Man.
That brings up a 3rd and 15 for Maury. Again, 5 wideouts, 3 to the near side, and I think there was a fumbled snap there. How did they have a fumble on a snap when the quarterback was in the shotgun?
The quarterback was standing there like, where's the ball?
That might have been one of the deals where the center may have thought that the quarterback was on. Oh, no. He lost the handle of the ball when he went to snap it.
Good camera shot by our crew. Center just kind of picked the ball up. Looked like it either hit him in the arm or hit him in his own leg.
So it's 4th down and 15 as they're going to lose about a yard on the play.
Good opportunity there. Might be lost by the Maury.
Commodores. We're at the end of the first quarter of play, so we're going to have to wait till the second quarter for Maury to get the possession of the ball again. At the end of 1, the Phoebus Phantoms 14, Maury 0.
You're watching WHCS Channel 46 as we bring you Friday Night Football, the Eastern Region Championship.
We talked earlier a lot about the fact that these two teams have played each other. This is the third time in a year. Last year, the Eastern Region semifinal game between these two players was an absolute barn burner. It was one of those games that you just saw the offense just dominate, up and down. It went into overtime, a missed extra point, 49 to 48.
Yeah, almost 100 points scored in that game.
And the missed extra point, I believe, was a block. And then they played each other to open the season with the Phantoms winning by a couple of scores.
And so far in the first quarter, Mike, Maury, no first downs on offense, only 21 yards rushing. They had 2 complete passes on 3 attempts for 11 yards. Oh, I'm sorry, that's minus 21 yards. I thought that was just an arrow showing me 21 yards. That's minus 21 yards rushing.
So the Phantoms, Keith Wright is back, or is the Maury Commodores, Keith is back to punt. And Phoebus has nobody deep, anticipating the possibility of a fake, but he does kick it. And it looks like the Phantoms are just going to let this one fall as it bounces at the 20 and rolls to about the 18-yard line. That's where the Phantoms will take over at the start of the second period of play. Out in front, 14-0 over Maury. 1st and 10 Phantoms at the 18.
Maury's got to get something going here, Mike. They've got to get that passing game moving. And frankly, they got to do something with the running game, too.
1 pass attempt that was good for about 8 yards, and that's basically it. They haven't been able to run.
No, not with minus 21 yards. 2 for 3. 2 for 3 with 11 yards. Not what they
the other pass
do.
was good for 3 yards, so a 3-yarder and a 8-yarder, and that's all they've done in the air.
This time the Maury defense stiffened up a little bit.
That was Haroon Brown on the handoff up the middle for maybe a gain of a yard. And watch the trailing. Well, we don't see it when Boyd handed the ball off to Haroon Brown up the middle, turned around like he was going to fake a pitch to to Mathis, and Mathis got hammered
Mathis
out
got
there.
nailed. I wish you could have seen that. Mike and I both kind of looked at each other, and Mathis was 5 to 10 yards behind.
And that not only faked the Maury player out, but it faked a lot of other people out, too, because they thought that Mathis was going to get it. This ball is handed off to Mathis up the middle, and he gets maybe 2 yards on the play to the 21. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7.
Here's the replay on that one. Mathis just gets it and goes right up, and the defense just kind of submarined.
Well, if you look at the way the Maury defense is setting up, they bring in the 3 linebackers all the way to the line of scrimmage.
Blue.
Timeout, Phantoms.
Timeout.
They have 2 defenders covering the wide receivers, one on either side of the field, and that's it.
Yeah, but Mike, why not?
Yes.
Where's Phoebus's bread and butter?
Well, I tell you, I play with the way they're setting up on defense right now. A little quickie over the middle to the tight end will be some big yards because there's nobody there.
It would.
There's absolutely nobody playing defense 5 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Well, Phoebus, 69 yards per game in passing, not known for their passing. They are known for the running, 246 yards per game in the Peninsula District.
But last week,
200 and some yards.
Last week, Boyd did a good job throwing the ball, and that's something that the Phantoms have come up with, and they can do it. They've got the receivers that can do it.
In the first quarter, 67 yards rushing for the Phoebus Phantoms.
And the majority of that, by the way, is Mr. Mathis.
Of course, if you extrapolate that to 4 quarters, you're looking at 240, 250 yards there.
Which is pretty much their
average. I'm sorry to use that word extrapolate, but you understand.
Oh, heck of a guy, man. Heck of a guy. Here we go. Boyd under center. At Brown in motion. Back to pass.
They must have heard you.
Yeah, they were going to throw that screen pass to Mathis, and it didn't work out as he was covered. So Boyd kept the ball and gets the ball outside to about the 23-yard line, and the Phantoms are going to be stopped on a 3-and-out here.
Here's the play.
This was a setup for a screen. A great play by the defense.
It looks like number 51 for Maury. That's Steve Spence, along with number 11, Nick Martin, made the stop on that play.
So Cole now is back to punt the ball for the Phantoms, and number 21.
Number 21, James Butts.
Back deep for Maury. Nice punt all the way to the 45-yard line of Maury.
Ooh.
There was a clip that wasn't called. It did not call the clip. And Butts gets the ball at his own 45, gets about 3 yards before he is just leveled by a couple of Phantoms.
I don't know whether you'll see this block here, but and a referee standing right there.
And there was also one here on the side.
Well, this is the one I was looking at right
Boom.
there.
How can that not be a clip call? That was about as blatant a clip as you would ever have. And it just so happened that the one who was hit is the one that stayed down on the ground for a minute or two. So the Phantoms, after a 3-and-out kick to the Commodores, they have a 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. Field position here is switched a bit at this point after a couple of punts. Maury takes the ball and runs. And that is number 30 on the carry, James Scott, as he's going to pick up about 3 to the Phantoms' 49-yard line.
Maury going to the ground on this play, and they've got to do that in order to keep Phoebus honest. Otherwise, Phoebus is going to be coming all night long, and they're not going to get anywhere. This time they do pick up a couple of yards.
3 yards on the play.
Maury, their 2 running backs and the quarterback might combined for 800 yards for the season, so you don't usually see a lot of running. But like I said, they're going to have to do something tonight to get that passing game going.
Ooh, there's a keeper off the left side. A lot of yards here. All the way down near the 30-yard line where he's forced near the out-of-bounds marker by the Phantoms.
That was a nice call by Maury on that one, Mike. They stayed with the run. This time it appeared to be an option. And Stephen Kelly, the quarterback, you'll watch him here, keeps it himself. They get a nice block from number 70 to turn that corner.
19 yards later, after being brought down by Aaron Hawkins, number 5 of the Phantoms. So 1st and 10 at the 30 for the Maury Commodores. Their first drive this deep into Phantom territory. There's back to pass. lobs the ball off. This one's going to be out of bounds.
A lot of bumping and shoving over there on the far corner.
That was intended for Leroy Reynolds, number 6. Back on the defense for the Phantoms was number 9, and that was Derek Davenport. That one really had no chance. Looked like the ball was actually thrown out of bounds. 2nd down and 10 now for Maury.
That was one of those plays where you tell the receiver to get into the end zone, and I'll put it up there, and if you can't get clear, it's just going out.
Kelly again in the shotgun. One receiver to the far side. He breaks free. Nice tackle out there by the Phantoms as the pursuit by number 11, Darius McMillan, stopped Kelly from getting to the outside.
McMillan, the linebacker, and Phoebus with 6 men back because of the passing attack. Just so quick, Mike, as you see McMillan get in there.
And McMillan started off on the left side of the line and followed the path that Kelly took right around the corner.
And if you look at their defense now, they've got 2 men deep, and then they got 1, 2, 3, 4 along the midline, and then they've got coverage on the outside.
They're down to 7. There goes a flag.
Several flags there. They're only rushing 3 or 4.
It's like they may have moved early. Yep.
Offense, 5 yards.
That's 3 penalties now already for the Maury Commodores, all 5-yarders, a couple of offside or encroachment penalties. And this one is early movement by the offense.
Here's a replay. You see the 4 down men there for Phoebus on their defense. And just a quick movement, it appears, right there in the middle by the center.
So 3rd down and 11 for Maury. There's the ball sitting close to the 32-yard line.
Saw a shot of the crowd, part of the crowd anyway. Not a bad showing on the Maury side over there tonight, Mike.
Kelly back to pass, straight back, being flushed out of the pocket and lets loose with it down the sideline. The ball was intercepted by the Phantoms, but I believe he was a bit out of bounds.
Oh, man.
And that was Davenport again.
Mike, that pass should have never been thrown. You had good coverage on the man. You had zone coverage behind him. Phoebus had this one all the way. There was good pressure. He should have eaten this one. He throws it right into double coverage. And it appeared you had a man open over the middle there.
So now it's 4th down and 11 for Maury at their own 32-yard line. Looks like they're setting up to go for it here.
They've got to get something going. They can't. If they punt, they're not going to get much more than what they've got. They've got to get something going.
Kelly back, a little screen over the middle. Oh, and they got him too. They stopped him. Looks like that was number 7 on the tackle, Givers. Landon Givers was there early enough to stop him from getting a 1st down on the play, and Phoebus will take over.
Landon Givers, a highlight of his own on defense for Phoebus, just gets in there. Comes
the pass was completed to number 5, McCann, who is their leading receiver, and he couldn't get break free of that tackle, so the Phantoms take over 1st and 10 with the ball sitting at their own 23-yard line.
Phoebus defense is just proving to be too quick for this Maury offense, Mike. They're covering the run, they're covering the pass, they're shutting down the receivers, and they're able to correct and stop anything.
Boyd on a keeper around the right end, and he's kind of hog-tied down by.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, boy, I'm telling you, that was number 11, Martin for Maury, just wrapped him up right around the helmet, just brought him down.
Watch this. Nick Martin gets over there, and
actually, it's number 6.
Leroy Reynolds.
Reynolds on the stop.
He ought to be in a rodeo.
Hog-tied, collared, whichever way you want to look at it. He was brought down by the head.
3.2 seconds on the time.
2nd down. Phantoms send 2 wideouts all the way down here, and they were moving early. They never got set, and I can't believe they didn't throw a flag on that. The near side referee was standing right next to those 2 receivers, and they were both still moving. They never got set.
And Maury's defense, those are the only 2 backs they had in the backfield. Everybody else is bunched on the line. Look at that defense down there. They are playing for the run. And Phoebus is still grinding out 2, 3, 4 yards, Mike.
Well, they brought 2 wideouts to the near side, almost off the field. That's how close they were to the sideline. And Maury sent 2 receivers with them, and everybody else was on the line right in the middle. They have one linebacker playing. Actually, the safety is, 5 yards off of the line.
He might as well be a linebacker.
All the linebackers are actually playing on the line. Ball was handed off, I believe, to Brown, and that's who got it, up the middle for a yard or two. Enough, I believe, for the first down.
There you can see the replay. Haroon gets it, just comes right up the middle.
Looks like they're going to bring in the sticks to check a measurement here. I thought he got another yard beyond that.
Look close. The way that line, the offensive line for Phoebus, is surging forward, I thought they had plenty of runners there with Brown, but we'll see. Right here
Maury's defensive ends have set themselves up to watch Brown, or to watch Mathis. To watch Mathis on a pitch play.
6 inches short. Well,
and every play they've done that, the pitch guy has actually been covered pretty hard.
He really has. And Maury had to come in here knowing that they're going to have to put a man on Brown and on Mathis.
It looks like Phantoms are going to go for a 4th down at about 3 inches here. Deep in their own territory, already up 14-0.
On this play, the O-line just has to move forward, and Taj can keep this one himself and pick up the 6 inches.
I guarantee you it's going to go to Boyd.
Everybody's up there.
It's going to go to Brown. You watch and see. Either that or he's going to try to work,
get the offside.
Draw him offside, but this time.
Time out. Charge to blue.
And that's their second timeout, as they've taken a timeout. I guess they want to talk about this a little bit more, but
I think they were going to do exactly what you said, Mike. They want to try and draw them offsides there. If they don't, they can always punt it out, but Haroon Brown would be a good choice to give it to. But
I would be real surprised to see them not punt the ball here, but we'll see.
See if we can listen in here.
Apparently they want to talk to the coaches.
Double G! Go, baby. Let's go! Don't say everybody say let's go.
Well, there you got a chance to hear some of what goes on the sideline. And it appears they are going to go for it.
They're still going to go for it. 4th down in inches.
And was I hearing something? Did I keep hearing hippo?
Yeah. I bet you that's going to go to right up the middle to Brown, as Brown is the lone back. And there's Brown on the handoff. And he picks up about 2 yards, well enough for the first down, as the ball is going to be outside of the 35. So Brown picks up the first down.
He's like money. Money.
Well, yeah, that's the thunder part.
Yeah. What have we watched him 5 times this year, Mike? And when they get in situations like this,
it always goes to.
Oh, man. Haroon Brown, number 32. And ladies and gentlemen, just so you'll know, 6 feet, 245-pound senior. And he is a great addition to Mathis.
Here's Mathis up the middle. Not much there, as the Maury Commodores had that one snuffed up pretty good, as he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
I don't know what they did on defense that time, but it's probably what they should have done last time.
But that's going to bring up a 2nd down.
Now, that time the defense got the better of the offensive line of Phoebus. Kind of clogged up everything.
I think before it's going to be said, Phoebus is going to have to open it up a little bit. And they need to throw. They haven't even thrown a pass yet, and right now the Maury Commodores are kind of holding them a little bit more now than they were earlier in the first quarter.
And just a second ago, folks, you saw Renee Camden, one of our production assistants there, with one of the cameramen.
So here's Boyd on a keeper. He's going to throw the ball, being flushed out of the pocket, and he's going to go down after it looks like he got back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's just about it, as the tackler was number 20, Trevon Williams. No gain on the play.
Not at all. He's looking for a receiver on the opposite side. Couldn't find him, so came to the near side here, and the receiver here was covered. He didn't have a choice there. He had to eat that one.
Looks like he lost about a half yard. 3rd down now, and a little bit more than 10 for the Phantoms.
Another shot of the crowd there, ladies and gentlemen, from our camera crew, which happens to be Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Bateman, Steve Fryer. On the crane and camera, we have Jeremy Ferries and the lovely, lovely Monique Bird. Our graphics and animation tonight, as always, Andy Foley. And the slow motion and instant replay that you're seeing from Mike Nowinski. Camera control operator, Sarah Myers. And we'll get to the rest of them here shortly.
He's out of the shotgun now. Boyd drops back to pass a screen.
Oh,
I tell you what, that ball was close. As number 51 almost picked off that, and that was Steve Spence. And he was in the right spot, too.
Man. That could have been a big, big turnover.
That might have been 7 points. That ball was almost 7 points the other direction.
Whoa, in fact, I think it was tipped a little bit, and then right into the arms of number 51.
Well, the ball was intended.
The
ball was intended for Reed Evans coming across from the outside. So Cole back in punting formation now.
Oh, that could have changed things.
Yep, that's James Butts deep for Maury. Nice punt as they let the ball fall, and it drops all the way and goes. It looks like it's going to go back inside of the 30.
Folks, that was a great punt. He airmailed that one, got some good hang time on it.
Got about 35 yards on the punt where Maury will take over 1st and 10 with 2:55 to go, trailing the Phantoms of Phoebus by a score of 14-0.
We're at Darling Stadium. It is November the 24th, the day after Thanksgiving. You're watching WHCS, Channel 46 Sports, as we bring you once again Friday Night Football. This time, rather than strictly Peninsula District, Mike, it's the Eastern Region Championship. And, of course, the Peninsula District is here. That's why you and I are here.
Absolutely.
And it's the Phoebus Phantoms, who are flexing their muscles and doing quite well, thank you.
Kelly drops back to pass out of the shotgun, being flushed out. Pass over the middle is caught. Are they going to make out a completed pass? And they look as though they are.
That was a nice completion there because Kelly's just not getting a lot of time. You see Haroon Brown get in there to move him over, and then along comes number 7 for the Phantoms. That's Landon Givers.
Over the middle to a wide open receiver. Again, it was number 8 on the attempt. That was Brooms. The last pass was completed to Brooms on a great pass. That one's incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 3. And they are sending 5 and 6 players out.
At that time, they had a man there and just couldn't get the completion, Mike.
Yeah, they're leaving the quarterback, Kelly, just with no blockers in front. They have 3 wideouts to the far near side, 2 wideouts to the far side, and looks like Maury calls a timeout.
Timeout. Wait.
Thank you.
Timeout. 2 minutes and 19 seconds left in the first half here at Darling Stadium as you're watching the Eastern Region Championship game on WHCS Channel 46. And Mike, Phoebus playing great defense, going right to the ground game in the running, dominating on offense, and Maury just can't get their passing game going.
Well, it looks as though that the Phoebus Phantoms run an attack in their first 2 possessions. So they ran the ball quite well, pretty successful. A lot of their runs were up the middle, but now Maury has done some adjusting, and they have stopped them the last couple of times and forced the Phantoms to punt the ball.
Right.
So at this point in time, the way things are shaping up, Maury's defense is catching up with the Phantoms' offense, and now the Phantoms are going to have to change something on offense.
They are, because you and I have seen this on defense. Maury has gone from kind of 3 backs, 4 backs to only 1 defensive back, and everybody else is on the line, and they're bunched in the middle to stop the run.
3rd down and 3 now. Kelly, again, there's 4 wideouts. This time Kelly's going to keep it himself, and he's not going to get it. Great defensive play there by number 44 of the Phantoms.
Landis Beggs, number 44.
Beggs did a good job stopping that, and that forces a 4th down.
This Phoebus defense is just too quick. Beggs fights off a tackle there and is still able to bring Kelly down. And Phoebus is not – they're rushing 3-4 guys, Mike, and everybody else is in the backfield to cover that passing attack.
Well, they have to, because they have a potent enough passing attack to be able to move the ball. But right now, some of the plays that Kelly has been doing has kind of changed that. Almost blocked again.
And he keeps looking at him and looking at him.
Phantoms let it go, and the ball goes all the way back to the Phantoms' 27-yard line, where Phoebus will take over 1st and 10, and that's 2 punts in a row now that a Phantom player has actually touched the kicker.
And Keith Wright, the kicker, was talking to the ref. He wanted some kind of flag on that one.
It wasn't something that was hard, but you're not supposed to touch the kicker. I mean, this time, when he hit him, he grabbed him to keep him from going down. You're not going to try to fool the referee on that play. No. 1st and 10, Phantoms at their own 27-yard line. Is that a minute and 25 to go?
Here you see Wright as he mishandled the punt. Good isolation shot by our camera crew, and you see the punt go up, and here comes the Phoebus player into him, just grabs him.
That very well could have been. Here's Mathis on an end around. He's forced out of bounds at their own 43-yard line.
After seeing that on replay, I don't know why they won the flag on that one. There you see the scoreboard, 1:19 left in the first half. Phoebus is the home team. They're up 14-0 over the Maury Commodores.
Like a gain of about 15 to the 43-yard line for Mathis. That just adds to his total for the first half.
Phoebus making the adjustment that we were talking about a little while ago, Mike. As you see the Maury defense stack that middle, they're beginning to come outside. When Maury spreads out, they'll go right back inside.
So they send out 4 wideouts, 2 to the near side and 2 to the far side.
This time you've got a spread defense by Maury.
Mathis, now this time Boyd keeps it, spins around and gets through a tackle and is forced out of bounds down inside of the Maury 45-yard line. Great play by Boyd as he faked the handoff to Mathis and kept the ball and run to the left side. Good job.
Mike, it seems like every time Maury changes its defense, Phoebus has a counter to it. Look at this great play. He just takes it around the side.
He got out of that tackle right there, and that sprung another 5 or 6 yards all the way down to the 44-yard line, where the Phantoms stopped the clock by going out of bounds with 1 minute and 11 seconds before halftime. Out in front already, still 14-0.
Maury's
trying to add to it.
Maury's got to be getting frustrated here with their defense, not knowing what to do.
Wow, let's see, they got 4 wideouts again. This time he hands the ball off to Mathis, and he runs the ball to the right. And looks like he picks up maybe 2 on the play. And that's about it. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 8 as looks like somebody's going to stop the clock. Let's see.
See, they got good pursuit on that. The end stayed home, fought off a
blue.
So Phoebus calls their 3rd timeout of the half. That'll be everything they've got in regards to timeouts. We're at 55 seconds?
55 seconds left here at Darling Stadium.
Already out in front 14-0. Trying to add to that score. Here's a good close-up shot of some of the players.
Who is that, number 74 for Phoebus? Who is that? That is, I don't have a 74.
You don't have a 74?
I don't have a 74.
Guess what? I don't have a 74 either.
But there he was. Number 74 as you look in on the Phantom team.
Coach Bill D there trying to instruct Boyd as to what he wants to do here with a 2nd down and a long 8. Let's call it 2nd down and 9 as they got about a yard on that play down to the 43-yard line.
I'd see if I could pack that defense in and see if he could spring Mathis loose. Get him around the side, get him some open room. And, of course, if they bunch up in the middle, the Maury defense, like they've done several times, Mathis could take that route.
Well, the Phantoms have done a few extra. Yeah, there's Craig Brion.
How does Craig Brion always get on our cameras?
He's always standing in the stadium looking at the game.
And he's always smiling. He's always smiling. That's the big thing.
All right, let's go.
Oh, I'll tell you in a minute why we're laughing.
Back to passes. Boyd gets flushed out, throws the ball over the middle.
Open.
Wide open. Almost.
Nice defensive play by number 21. Who is that, Butts?
Looks like a pass was intended for number 9, Derek Davenport. Watch this again. It was almost, the ball was a little bit underthrown because he was open. He had him by about 3 yards past the defense.
Watch the great play by James Butts as he gets in there to get a hand up and knock that play away because he had 2 steps, 3 steps on him.
He was well beyond the defender and had to wait for the ball to get there, and it was a little bit underthrown, or that would have been another 6 points.
Yes, it was.
So going out wide to the far side is Davenport. Evans to the near side. Back to pass again. Down the sideline, wide open, well overthrown. And that ball was so far over his head that he didn't even have a chance. And that was intended for Evans, who had beat his defender by 10 yards or more.
Leroy Reynolds, number 6, was the defender on this play, and Evans just went right by him. And
that one had 6 points written all over it, too.
I think Leroy just lost him there because he turned inside and Evans turned outside. And if Boyd had gotten that pass there, that was 6 points.
So Cole now comes in to punt the ball away for the Phantoms. Back deep for Maury is number 21, James Butts. 4th down and 9 is the play. This time he kicks the ball to the far side, or bounces over here towards the near side, down to the 10.
Get a nice roll on that one.
All the way down to about the 8-yard line, where Maury will take over 1st and 10 with, 30 seconds left?
Looks like 32 seconds left in the game. First half, I'm sorry, not the game.
Phoebus out in front, 14-0 here at Darling Stadium. Nice crowd. This side of the stadium is pretty well full with the Phoebus Phantoms.
And you would expect that as we're playing here in the Hampton area. But across the field, Mike, good crowd over there from Maury. It's Friday night, November the 24th, the day after Thanksgiving. And I'm hoping everyone out there had a great Thanksgiving and had a lot of turkey to eat. I know that I did, and I'm sure Mike did. And I'm sure Brent Musgrove had some good turkey, if maybe not some cookies and other good things to eat, pie. Bob Killen over there with us.
5 wideouts. The Maury Commodores send the 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Being flushed out of the pocket. He's going to get tackled. And I believe he fumbled the ball. But he may have gotten it back, as it looks like it may have bounced back to him again.
Stephen Kelly is just not getting a chance to find any of his receivers, and Phoebus is doing a fantastic job of covering them. There you can see that defensive line.
Ball was recovered by one of the linemen.
There it is.
And there it is. We are at the end of the first half of play here at Darling Stadium. The Eastern Region Championship game between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Maury Commodores. 14-0. Phoebus out in front.
You're at Darling Stadium as you're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports.
Let's see what's going on now.
Timeout. White. Reset the clock with 2 seconds, please.
Well,
that's interesting.
That's an interesting situation.
Very interesting.
Why, with the ball sitting at the 9-yard line, why would they call timeout? Why wouldn't they just let the clock run out?
Well, it looked like the time ran out well before I don't know. I'm not down on the field. I'm up here with you.
Well, I don't understand. Well, first of all, while you're down 14-0 and you're all the way back to the 9-yard.
Scotty reminds us all.
Yeah,
remember,
40 yards is a whole lot different than 92, though.
Scotty reminded us that last week's game was won with 2 seconds left in the game, and anything can happen in 2 seconds if you get a receiver open.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see 1, 2, 3.
They're sending 5 wideouts again. 3 to the far side of the field.
4 deep in the back, 5 deep on defense for Phoebus. They've got 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and 5 men in the secondary.
There's the snap. Kelly gets dropped back, and he's going to get tackled in the end zone. And not only was it a mistake, they end up getting a safety on him.
And Scotty, you were right. Anything can happen with 2 seconds.
What you talk about backfiring? You go from letting the clock run out to giving them 2 points. It's exactly what Maury did.
My goodness, this quarter will end on a 2-point safety by the Phoebus Phantoms. As you're watching Friday Night Football here at WHCS Channel 46.
Now you talk about a momentum change. You talk about somebody wanting to just kill the clock and go out. Here's a replay of that play.
Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. With 2 seconds left, they call the timeout. They reset the clock. And Kelly's back to pass. And the defense from Hampton, which has just been fabulous, fantastic all night long from Phoebus, gets in and makes the tackle.
If you show that replay one more time, though, I think he was hit at the 1-yard line. And I got a feeling we'll look at it again later on. But we're at halftime now, and the Phantoms are out in front at the half, 16-0. Stay tuned to second half action as
As we bring it to you
out in front 16-0 in the Eastern Region Championship game here at Darlin Stadium.
From WHCS Channel 46 Sports, bringing you Friday Night Football.
Welcome back to Darlin Stadium. Eastern Region Championship contest between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Maury Commodores. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, and Bob Killen here at Darlin Stadium. 16-0 on a game that we really thought that the Maury Commodores were going to throw the ball and throw the ball well. And so far, Phoebus' defense has just absolutely bottled them up.
And that's the key, Mike. We thought they were going to throw well. We thought they were going to be able to throw, but they have not been. It's obvious that Bill D and the coaching staff for Phoebus have made the necessary adjustments prior to this game to stop the passing, and they've done it great.
Oh, absolutely. Here's some replays of the first half we want to show you. This is actually the opening kickoff that was kicked off to Donnell Dixon as he takes the ball at about the 8-yard line, and he just absolutely starts off the game with an electrifying first half kickoff return all the way down near the 40-yard line, and that really set him up. And a couple of plays later, Mathis goes over for about 18 yards and the first score, as there is where he ran the ball in for the touchdown. And then defensively, the Phantoms have just absolutely bottled up the Maury offense, and this is exactly indicative of what happened during the entire first half. And this is Arun Brown on his 8-yard run for a touchdown.
It's been Phoebus running.
Now watch this play. This was they called time. Maury calls timeout with 2 seconds left. 92 yards away from the goal line, and turns right around and gives the Phoebus Phantoms a gift, 2 points.
That was a strange play, Mike, because it appeared that time had run out in the first half, and then the referees came on the field and basically stayed on the field and said timeout called by Maury.
Yep.
Put 2 seconds back on the clock. They did, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Is Cole kicking off as the ball is taken at the Maury Commodore and fumbled out of bounds by number 8, and that was Brooms on the muff as the ball goes out of bounds down on the Maury 13-yard line.
On the muff, I like that.
On the muff. Well, that's what it's called. It's a muff kick.
He muffed it.
First half stats were pretty indicative of how this game's gone. 16-0 Phoebus out in front of Maury. They were 12 rushes for Maury, minus 6 yards total. They were 4 of 8 passing for 28 yards. They only had 1 first down, and that was on 1 run that they had. Here's a handoff up the middle.
This time Maury does pick up some yardage on the run. That's probably one of their better runs of the day by number 25, Mike.
And that's Brian Oliver. That's one of the things we talked about earlier is they only had 3 rushes by their backs in the entire first half.
Yeah. Well, they're not a rushing team, and number 25 is not one of their regular running backs either.
Well, that particular run there netted them a gain
more yardage than they've had in the whole first half.
That's right, and that's a first down. Here's the pass play. That's complete outside, and he gets away from the first defender.
That was a nice spin move. Who was that, number 3 for Maury?
Number 5. That was McCain on the reception, and forcing him out of bounds was Davenport, number 9. He spins away from that first tackle there.
Watch this nice move. He just spins, gets his arm around him, pushes, gets up, 3, 4, 5 more yards.
McMillan was the actual player who forced him out of bounds. We'll continue with some first half stats here in a couple of minutes. This is a slow developing play as the quarterback wanted to hand the ball off, but there wasn't
anybody there.
There wasn't nobody there to give it to. As
he was covered.
Kelly ends up keeping the ball. Is going to pick up maybe 3 yards on the play, and that's about it.
That looked like Charlie Smith, number 15, that was in there covering that one.
And for the Phantoms in the first half, 25 rushings for 106 yards. And Dennis Mathis, 13 carries for 61 yards in the first half. They attempted 3 passes, did not complete any. So 106 total yards for the Phantoms in the first half, out in front by a score of 16-0. There's another handoff to one of their backs, and I believe that back was number 20, who was Trevon Williams. Looks like he picks up about 5 all the way to the 47-yard line.
And, Mike, I'm sorry, I've got to use this. First time all year, he ran into the 7-11 on that play. If you watch the tacklers on there,
there's number 7.
There's
number
11. And that is Landon Givers and Darius McMillan. We call him the 7-11. And, Mike, go back to one of the stats you had there. Passing in the first half for Maury was how many yards? 28. And they averaged
4 of 8.
Stephen Kelly had 1,600 yards for the season. Oh,
there's a flag that's thrown there late. That ball was handed off to Williams, I believe, as he is brought down. And I believe this is probably a face mask. We'll have to wait and see what the...
Yeah. Ron, you've seen a little more physical blocking by the Maury Commodores in this.
This was a hold
drive.
that looks like it's going to be called against Maury, so that's going to nullify the first down, and that'll move them 10 yards back from the spot. They had the first down, too, by the way.
They did.
A 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Foul and the foul.
That's right.
Offense, that's a 10-yard penalty.
The flag or the foul, right?
Flag or the foul. One of
That's
the
called a
foul. Foul over here and a foul over there.
That's a flagrant.
A flagrant foul.
A flagrant foul. All right, 3rd down and 9 now as the ball's brought all the way back to their own 41-yard line. Kelly back in shotgun. They have 4 wideouts. One of them is in motion. Back to throw. Being flushed out. Almost got hit there. Long down the he pushed off.
And we're not going to have a flag.
He pushed off, and he's going to go all the way in for the touchdown. It's number 21, James Butts. And you talk about being pushed off.
Well, we're going to.
That is a 59 yards from the 41. That's a 59-yard pass play.
Here's the replay on it. Stephen Kelly looking for a receiver, getting plenty of pressure. Lets it go. Can we get that camera in there to see it?
No, it had already taken place. He had already been pushed.
The receiver, and that it appears to be Butts, number 21 on that play, was covered by the Phantom defender, and it looked like he just kind of spun him around and pushed him off.
So it looks like
came back to make the reception.
Maury's going to go for 2 here. McCain goes in motion. Kelly is not going to do too well here as the Phantoms had that one snuffed out. Oh, well, he's still running.
Throws it.
And I don't understand what the flag was for.
Mike, this play just didn't go well from the beginning.
I had the glasses on the quarterback the entire time, and I'm not real sure what the flag would be for.
Out in just a moment here, but that whole play started off bad. Looked like it was supposed to be a handoff, and he and the running back got confused as to what was going on, and it ended up being a broken play. Got 2 flags down there.
I got a feeling they're going to call a face, and I did not see the face mask. We're going to have to see this again.
Here comes a replay from ground level.
Face mask on the defense. Replay
there it is. There it is. You just barely saw it at the end there. You saw the player reach up with his right hand from around the back.
Now, the pass was intercepted. Unfortunately, they get the ball back, and it's still going to go for it as it's half the distance to the goal. This time it's handed the ball off to number 20, and he gets in there, and that number 20 is Trevon Williams. So a quick 8 points by the Maury Commodores has cut this lead in half real fast.
Real quickly, and that's what they were known for. Here we watch the point after here. As he gets it, just jumps right in. He's hit, spins, and falls in for the 2 points. But Mike Maury was known for that. They score right a little less than 25 points per game. But it's not how many points they score. It's the fact that normally they score quickly.
Well,
just like last week when they scored quickly on Hampton. But here, the first half, they have been held by a great Phoebus defense. There, number, as you see, I don't want to say any numbers, but if you see, I guess if you knew where the quarterback was, you knew who I was talking about. But you can see his right hand go up.
I was watching it with the glasses, and I kept my eyes on the quarterback, and I thought he got him in the back of the shoulder pad. I couldn't tell on that it don't make any difference. The call was made.
With 9:23 left here in the third quarter at Darling Stadium.
So Maury goes straight down the field on a 59-yard bomb for the score, the 2-point conversion after the face masking call moved the ball half the distance to the goal. Now the lead is cut in half to 16-8.
And you can see why Maury is so dangerous and how they can strike quickly and change this whole game, as it appeared that Phoebus had this well in hand. Maury now 1 score away. Got a flag here on the 45.
It looks like the Maury Commodores may have been offside on the kickoff. The gentleman who kicked the ball has to pick the tee up because it was all the way
offside on the kicking team.
That's a 5-yard penalty.
I think
they'll make him kick it again.
I think he knew exactly what it was because Mike, after he kicked it, he just kind of stopped dead right there by the tee and started to pick it up.
Mathis is the deep runner back here.
That's who they want to keep it away from.
Along with number 12, Donnell Dixon, and number 84, Reed Evans. Those are your 3 deep backs for the Phantoms, with Mathis sitting in the middle of the field, deepest all the way back to his own 10.
Mathis, one of the most dangerous running backs in the Peninsula District this season, picking up over 1,600 yards.
Keith Wright is the kicker, who will be teeing it up and kicking it again for the Commodores. This time he's pretty clear. Mathis at the 17, up the middle. Oh, he gets hit and stays on his feet.
Oh.
But unfortunately, he gets wrapped up by a Maury player and is dropped at his own 26-yard line.
That was number 51 for the Commodores. That was Steven Spence. Nice run up the middle there. And then he just gets rocked. And then Steven Spence will get credit for that tackle. And I wish we could have seen who hit.
So Mathis, the Phantoms have the ball 1st and 10. The ball resting at their own 26-yard line here in the third period of play. Out in front, 16-8. Mathis again gets stopped in the middle of the line, maybe a yard at the most, as Maury's defense really has pumped up here coming out here in the first half, second half.
And I just got word from the truck that was Brian Oliver, number 25, who made that hit on Mathis on the return. Good job by our guys in the truck.
Second down and 9 now, as after a gain of 1 for Mathis, as the defense for Maury has really stiffened up here.
Just saw some of my teaching colleagues there from years gone by.
Keeper by Boyd. Oh, he gets away, and it picks up some good yardage out near the 35.
That was nice running by Taj Boyd there, as he appeared to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage and was able to slip out and pick up some yardage, Mike.
Got the ball all the way to the 34-yard line. That's going to bring up about 2 yards to go, 3rd and 2.
There you saw him slip through a couple of tacklers on the line of scrimmage and pick up some yardage. Just a very nice piece of running by Taj Boyd, the young sophomore quarterback from Phoebus.
He needs to get the ball to the 36 now as the Phantoms come to the line of scrimmage. They're all bunched up.
Well, they know what we know.
They'll try to pull them off sides. Nope, there's a handoff
32.
to Brown, and he gets stopped. He gets over the 35. It depends on where they mark it. I believe he's going to be a little bit short.
He'll be short. They'll probably mark it right at the 35 from where it looks here. I think everybody in the whole stadium knew who was going to get the ball. Brown, he gets
hit 2 yards. He gets hit about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage and falls forward. But he's at least, I think he's at least the length of the football.
They gave him a good spot there. Gave him a good spot there.
I think he's probably the length of the ball short of a first down. That's my guess. Let's see what happens.
My guess is inches.
To the football.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Now, does Bill D take a chance here, or does he punt the ball away? And it looks as though he's going to go for it here on 4th down and 1. 4th down in inches. It's
4th down in inches, yeah.
Less than half a foot to get a first down.
Well, the last time they were in this situation,
they drew them offside.
Well, first time drew them offside. Next time they gave it to Haroon Brown and got the first down.
Here they all bunched up again. No wideouts. They're trying to pull them offside, and then this time they didn't. They hand the ball off to Brown, and he definitely has the first down. Pick up maybe 2 yards on the play, but that's plenty to get the first down, as they only needed inches to go. So they have a 1st and 10 now. The ball should be marked pretty close to about the 37-yard line.
Here's the play, and this is just bread and butter for Phoebus. You give it to number 32, Haroon Brown, the Thunder part of the Thunder and Lightning, and he's going to pick up the yardage for you. 6 foot, 245 pounds. That young man can move it, Mike, and he's got a front line that's blocking for him.
Ball's just shy. Ball's just shy of the 38-yard line. 1st and 10 for Phoebus. Back to pass is Boyd again over the middle, wide open, but he cuts it back and turns around, and the ball was thrown too far to the near side. If we had an isolation on that play, you'd see that the receiver was wide open, cutting across the middle of the field, and the ball was thrown to the near side.
That was Larry Armstead defending the linebacker, and Mike, he almost made an interception here as you see him turn on the ball, and it was closer to him. I say almost made an interception, got his hand on it.
Well, the receiver was running a post pattern, and
at about 3-4 yards on the back.
Thrown to the near side. Boyd on a keeper, cuts it up the field, and gets near the 40. It looks like they're going to mark him back on about the 38 or 39. It's kind of hard to see where this guy's going to. He actually moved him back to the 48.
Not going to get much 38. On that one. Maybe a yard on that.
To the 38.
Looked like the option play.
I thought he got up closer to the 40.
No. Well, he may have ended up eventually. No, he's back down there.
6:34 to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Phoebus out in front, 16-8.
You're at Darling Stadium with WHCS Channel 46 Sports. Mike Hauser and Paul Rowe, along with Brent Musgrove and Bob Killen, bringing you tonight's Eastern Region Championship.
Boyd in the shotgun, drops back. There's a pass over them on a play that Donnell Dixon was coming from the outside.
Yes, looked like some sort of a late hit somewhere there, Mike, a late flag.
I wonder who this is going to be against.
I think it's Phoebus. Second.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the blue team.
On the blue team, which is Phoebus.
That's a big penalty.
Right at the end of the play here, we had.
Ow.
I think it's right there. I think it's right there on the far left-hand side of your screen. You can see some of the Maury players turning around to follow the end of it.
That's a big penalty. It was a dead ball foul, so 4th down, it stays that way, and it looks like about 4th and 25. Cole in to punt the ball now.
We got flags again, Mike.
Flags everywhere. This one might go against Phoebus again. He may have moved a bit early on this one.
Tell you, looking down on the field, you see the Maury players getting pumped up.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5 yards.
Yep. So they're going to keep walking closer and closer to their own goal, which is not the direction they want to be going. Maury seeming to get a little bit of momentum here as their defense has really come up strong here on this drive, and mistakes by the Phantoms have moved them back deep in their own territory.
4th and 29. Here's the kick. Decent kick. It's inside of Maury territory. Gets a Phoebus bounce
roll, Mike,
and goes all the way down to the 34-yard line.
Hey, what, Boggs let that one roll by him. I don't know. You can see the punt coming toward the side here. Great chance for them to get some good field position, but unfortunately for Maury, the kick gets a nice roll, and they're back down and deep in their own territory once again.
This ends up being a 49-yard punt with the roll, and he got a great bounce here. That's 5, 10. He got about 12 yards on the roll. So Maury takes over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line, trailing 16-8.
Let's see what kind of roll Maury can get back
Kelly on a keeper to the 35, and that's it. Looks like Arun Brown on the stop, number 32 for the Phantoms.
Replay on this, and you hear us talk. Mike and I will speak about Arun Brown most of the time. You hear us talk about him. It's on offense because he just does a good job as a running back, as a compliment to Mathis. But on defense, he's a tough man.
And we'll give him a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 for the Phantoms. Ball sits right on the 35-yard line. You hear those guys over there. Kelly back to throw over the middle. There's a flag almost intercepted by the Phantoms. Looked like number 11. That ball was intended for number 5, Darian McCann's.
Mike, he was open there for a minute. That pass had a little bit more on it.
Holding's the call, and McMullen almost intercepted the ball for the Phantoms.
That's going to be a tough penalty there on Maury. Or you could see the receiver, if he just gotten a little more of the inside position there, he would have had that pass because, like I said, he was open.
Offense, 10 yards.
I believe that was actually number 9, Davenport, that almost intercepted that one. McMullen came in from the backside. 2nd down. 2nd down and looks like about 20 to me.
Long way. 5 minutes, 13 seconds left in the 3rd quarter here at Darling Stadium. You're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports. Friday Night Football, Eastern Region Championship game.
3 wideouts to the far side, 1 to the near. Kelly on a drop back, starts running and is pulled down by number 62 of the Phantoms. That's Dominic Davenport.
Mike, the Phoebus defense had everything blanketed back there in the secondary.
And it looks like he gets back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard loss on the play at the most. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 21 as the Phantoms defense now has come up strong. As you can, I don't know if you can hear it, but we can certainly feel it. The people on this side of the stands, the fans are starting to get this thing going now.
There you see you don't see it on the screen, but we see it up here, the Phantom mascot. Trying to get the crowd going as you see the crowd there on the screen.
Kelly now under center. Drops straight back to throw. Over the middle.
There he is.
Nice defensive play there by the Phantoms. Number 84, that's Evans, and also by number 82 by Darius Swift. So Evans and Swift on a double coverage makes that incomplete.
Here it is. The intended receiver, of course, is Butts. And just can't get it in there to him as he's covered by 2 defenders. And I've noticed a lot of the passes by Kelly have been up high, Mike. I don't know whether that's intended because of the height of the receivers or out of respect to the defense that Phoebus has been able to put out on the field tonight.
Evans back deep for the Phantoms, number 42, Keith Wright, in to punt the ball. And that ball snapped over his head into the end zone. And what is he going to do with the ball? The ball goes out of the end zone. It's a safety.
But, Mike, we're going to have to see this on the replay. That's a live ball. If Phoebus recovers that in the end zone, it's a touchdown. And it appeared that the Maury player was just trying to kick the ball. He didn't even make an attempt to pick it up. And you've got to do that.
First thing he should have done was just fallen on the ball.
My gracious.
Watch his replay. The ball snapped over his head, clearly in the end zone.
Now look at him. Now what you do is you fall on the thing. He turns around and kicks it. That's a live ball, and they are very fortunate that it went out of the end zone because Phoebus only gets 2 points out of it instead of 6.
Now, how often do you see 2 safeties in one game?
You're asking me?
Man.
Let's see. I did see this in an NFL game once.
Yeah, the Maury Commodores will have a free kick from the 20 as the Phantoms defense comes up big again, and it was that close to being a touchdown.
Ah, gracious.
Here's a replay of that last. The ball snaps 5 yards over his head.
Watch him now. He just stands there and walks around it calmly, nonchalantly. And I don't think he has a clue that ball is alive. I don't think he has a clue.
He stood there for, maybe a couple of seconds, turned around and looked at the ball, and swung his leg. He's lucky he didn't get his leg broke.
Oh, man. If the coaches don't get on him, whoa. I mean, he had a calling card out there. So Phantoms, here's a touchdown. Come get it.
Come get it. Here it comes. Way to go, Scotty. Think he's a soccer player, Scotty. So Maury will kick off from their own 20-yard line. Back deep for the Phantoms. Down near their own 25-yard line is Mathis. It's a short kick to the far side, taken out about the 47-yard line. And I believe they're going to call his knee down. And that was number 9, Derek Davenport, on the reception at the 47-yard line. So great field position to start this drive for the Phantoms.
So the momentum that was going in Maury's way is beginning to change. You'll see, yep, there it is. Left knee, front knee, went right down. But the momentum that Maury had
is quickly erased.
It really is. That play, wow.
So the Phantoms take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line. 4:01 to go here in the third quarter, up 18-8 as their lead now has been extended to 10 after that safety.
It will be up to Maury's defense to go 3 and out against Phoebus on this.
Mathis right straight up the middle, maybe a yard or two at the most to the 49. That'll bring up 2nd down and long for the Phantoms.
Here you see the replay of this one. Mathis once again, they're just taking that left side, picking up a couple of yards. Typical Phoebus football. Grind it, grind it, grind it, push it, push it, push it.
Number 55 on the stop for the Maury Commodores, and that is Travis Branch. 2nd down and a long 8 now as the ball sits at the Phantom 49-yard line. 2 wide outs to the near side. You got thunder and lightning in the backfield.
Maury once again.
There is flags everywhere.
Flying from left to right.
They were just now setting up for the snap.
Yeah, they were walking out to the ball.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5 yards.
Hey, you have a false start when they were still walking to the line of scrimmage. Look at, they're all standing now because the ball's being. They never even had a chance to get set there. 5-yard penalty pushes it back 5 yards.
Little mistiming there by Phoebus offense.
2nd down now and about 13.
Maury's defense spread out this time, folks.
2 wide outs to the near, 1 to the far side. Mathis in the backfield. Boyd on a quick pitch over the middle to Mathis. And there goes another flag.
Little shovel pass there to Mathis as he cuts from the center to the outside.
And this is likely to be a chop block, and that's normally what happens on a call from that side over there like that.
Here's Boyd as he takes it coming to the near side, and he just gives that little shovel pass.
I didn't see anything. Let's see what the call is.
He thought he was Roethlisberger there. Quarterback Roethlisberger had a little shovel pass to win the game.
There's no flag on the play.
Okay.
No flag on the play.
I saw it land on the ground over there. Did you guys see it land on the ground?
Well, we saw it, but it didn't mean anything. Somebody just dropped it.
He waved it off either way. Gain of about 3, 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9.
If Maury can stop them here, they've got a chance to get that momentum back if they can get their offense back on the field and pick up some yardage.
Now, the way Cole has been punting the ball for the Phantoms, he's done a heck of a job tonight. He's in the shotgun, fakes a handoff to Mathis, keeps it. Boyd gets a first down. Nice run.
And I was getting ready to point out to you, I always get worried when Maury spreads out their defense like they just did, because every time they do, Phoebus picks up the yardage. They just seem to know which play to run, Mike.
11 yards on the play. 1st and 10 for the Phantoms. He gets out of that first tackle by number 81, who was Tim Hines. He missed the tackle and allowed Boyd to pick up enough yards to gain the first down, all the way down to close to the 42-yard line of Maury. As we get closer and closer to the end of the third quarter. 2 minutes to go here. 4 wideouts, 2 to the far, and up the middle. Oh, did he get hit?
He got stood up by number 9.
Oh, man, number 9 for the Maury Commodores. Larry Armstead just flattened him.
Oh, man, watch this, guys. Mathis comes
just
up
gets
and
hammered.
right about now. Boom. They got to be careful of that helmet to helmet almost, too.
Pick up of about 8 yards on the play, but I tell you what, that was a hard 8 yards for Mathis.
I think Phoebus
comes out of the game on that one.
I think Phoebus has found a little bit of a weakness here on Maury. And let's see if here they go again, Mike. They're going to the shotgun. They're going with the 4 wideouts. They're spreading out Maury's defense, and then they're running the ball. Watch.
This is
boom. Well, this time he gets caught. But
Boyd, no gain up the middle as he calls his own number on a quarterback draw. They set up with 4 wideouts, 2 to the near, 2 to the far, and a single blocking back there is Haroon Brown, and no gain as he gets the ball to the 35-yard line. Second down and a short 2.
Tim Hines, the linebacker from Maury, got in on that one. But once again, they're having the holes there open. So
Mathis is back in the game now. Looks like they got three. They got the full house backfield now. There's Mathis up the middle, 2, 3, 5.
Oh, yeah.
First down as he drives it all the way inside the 30-yard line.
Mike, he had all the blocking in the world he needed on that one. I love these great shots from the ground level like this. Watch this play. With a full house backfield, he's the last man through, and he's got 2 men in front of him along with the line. Nice block by number 11.
Got
Darius
Brown, McMillan leading the way. It's kind of hard not to pick up 4 or 5 yards out of whack that time.
I believe I could do that and follow them those guys. Well, maybe not, but
first and 10 there they go again. Same setup, same run. Right straight up the middle. He kind of slithers through that defensive line and picks up about 7 or 8 yards on the play. All the way down to the 22-yard line is Mathis, and he's got to be getting close to 100 yards easy.
Watch this. Here he is again. Look at him following those blocks right through there.
Well, we've come to the end of the third quarter of play. After 3 here at Darling Stadium, Eastern Region Championship play, the Phoebus Phantoms are out in front of the Maury Commodores, 18-8 here. And I tell you, you could see the momentum change.
Right at the beginning of the third quarter, it went to Maury.
Yeah,
Maury came out. They had that quick strike. They got that pass that went for a big yardage. But then all of a sudden, Mike, you had Phoebus' defense stood up. You had a couple penalties that Maury was pushed back on. And then you had what I call the play of the third quarter.
Well, let's send it down to Ron Bateman down there on the sideline as he's got the Phoebus Phantoms cheerleaders. Go for it, Ron.
You're watching the Phoebus Phantoms versus the Maury Commodores on WACN Channel 46.
Here you go, Ron.
Ron has a good job down there, I tell you what. He gets to interview all the people that are walking around.
Mathis has 79 yards on 16 carries, according to our gurus over here with the books.
Gurus?
Gurus.
Is that what we call them? Gurus.
That's Brent Musgrove and Mr. Bob Killen taking care of the stats for us here at Darling Stadium for the Eastern Region Championship contest. Winner of this game, we will be traveling next weekend if the Phantoms can come out in front of this one, all the way to the northwestern part of the state.
We have a northwestern part of the state.
Here is Mathis on to take a nice cutback after coming wide to the near side. Gets the ball inside the 15-yard line, and the Phantoms are on the move again.
And, Mike, he was trapped at the 24, should have been down, broke away from the tackle. Watch this. Mathis comes inside. He was had right there and is able to break away from it and pick up about 6 or 7 more yards.
All the way down to the 14. First and 10 from the 14 for the Phantoms.
And going back to that momentum switch, you've seen it here. Momentum switch.
Here's that full house backfield again. This time the ball's handed to the lead back. And now Haroon Brown gets the ball down near the 5-yard line. That's almost a first down. Let's see where they mark it.
That's going to be awful close depending on where they mark it. And you can see, I was getting ready to say, the momentum is shifting back again toward Phoebus.
Look at Brown cut through the line down
Mr.
to
Thunder.
inside to 6.
3 yards after he's hit by the defenders, Mr. Haroon Brown.
We'll call it second down and a yard as he has to get the ball to the 5.
Blake Taylor had a tough time figuring out how to stop Mathison Brown, and Maury is having the same problem, Mike.
Here's a handoff to Mathis over the left side. He's down near the goal line. Let's see where they mark it. Either way, it's going to be a first and goal. Down inside to 1, it looks like.
Dominique Davenport and Charlie Jones opening some holes on that left-hand side there as he follows McMillan.
Ball sitting down right outside of the goal line. First and goal from the foot line. There's the clock, 10:43 to go here in the game.
Who are they going to give it to, Mathis, or do they give it to touchdown Brown?
I believe that Brown's going to get the ball. Let's see how they set it up.
Mathis scored in the game today.
Mathis is set off to the side there with Brown behind him, and there's Brown with the ball into the end zone.
Boom.
Touchdown, Phantom. 1 yard run by number 32, Brown, as he goes in and scores the touchdown, and all that's going to do is extend the lead more.
And this time, Mike, they go over the right side where they get the blocking of Maurice Hampton and Andre Purnell. And there is McMillan as he goes through with the block.
All right, Matt Cole in out of the hold of Taj Boyd.
Brown makes it look so easy, doesn't he?
When you got an offensive line like the Phantoms have, it's easy to make it look pretty good. There's the kick, almost blocked. He got through there, and it's good. So the Phantoms have extended that lead now with 10:21 to go.
We're here at Darling Stadium. You're watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports as we bring you Friday Night Football, the Eastern Region Championship game between the Phoebus Phantoms and the Maury Commodores. And, Mike, a great drive by the Phoebus Phantoms, or the Phoebus Phantoms, or the Phoebus Phantoms, as they have taken the momentum away from Maury in this game.
Don't forget, we have to pick a couple of players. Here's a replay of that last score by Brown as he...
You can see McMillan, number 11, going in there, too.
Clearly gets over the goal line. Player of the games we have to pick before the end of the game, and I've got my eye on a player that's very... you got to consider a player that has really come forth in this game that has helped the Phantoms a lot with field position.
Wonder who that might be. I've got a couple players in mind. But,
right here. He's had some plays that changed the field position big time. Here's the kickoff taken out about the 15-yard line by the Commodores, and
he's not going anywhere.
He went down at about the 18-yard line, so that's a 3-yard gain for the Commodores. First and 10 as they are now trailing 25-10. Here in the fourth period of play.
As you watch the replay on that, he gets it at about the 13, 14-yard line, brings it upfield, gets out close to the 24, and he's stopped by several of the Phantoms.
Remember now, we get to choose 2.
That's right.
Okay.
There's some Phoebus fans there. Yeah, he almost looked like Mike Tyson.
So Kelly back to pass. He's hitting the backfield, breaks free, picks up a couple yards as he gets outside the 25 to about the 28-yard line, as the defensive backs for the Phantoms have really been on the have done a great job covering those receivers.
They've shut down the receivers. Watch how quickly Terry Lyles, number 58, spins out and is able to come grab him after him being Kelly, after he gets hit.
Gain of 3 on the play, almost 4. Second down and 6. Kelly back to pass. Outside deep.
Ooh, he caught it.
That was number 5, McCain, on the reception, with number 35 out there for the Phantoms. Battle on the defense. That's good enough for the first down all the way out to the 45-yard line. So Maury picks up big yards on that play and gets
Mike,
the first down.
on this play, the defender, you can't see it in here, the defender slipped on that play. leaving the receiver open.
Kelly back to pass is being flushed out, starts running the ball, gets maybe a yard on the play, and that's it. Brought down by number 7, Givers, and number 51, Charlie Jones.
And Mike, again, he had nothing open over here on the left-hand side, the near side of the field. Man-on-man coverage here, man-on-man on the other side. All three receivers that were out.
Gain of a half a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 for the Phantoms, or for Maury at the 46-yard line.
All three of those receivers were just blanketed.
Kelly back, he blitzed up the middle, and that was number 35, Battle, as he blitzed from the linebacker spot. He wasn't even touched.
Levante Battle, and Mike, he is a sophomore, 6 foot, 180 pounds.
Loses about 6 on the play, right straight in. Like maybe one of the backs tried to deflect him out of the way, but it didn't do any good as he's dropped all the way back to the 39-yard line.
He just came right over the top on that one and just flattened him out.
3rd down and about 16 now. Kelly back to pass over the middle. Almost intercepted, and there's going to be a flag. I believe he was hit just a bit early.
I think Mr. 84 just got in there a little too quickly, and 3 flags went flying at the same time. You'll watch this on the replay, and you can see this one. Kelly had plenty of time to throw this time. The receiver was open, and you can see, boom, he just nails him.
And he hit him just a little bit too early.
Can't do that.
Be a 15-yard penalty. It's not enough for the 1st down.
Defensive pass interference against the defense.
Unless it's automatic.
Automatic 1st down.
Takes care of that. So they end up getting a 1st down automatic by the pass interference play. Ball sits at the Phantoms' 46-yard line, so the Commodores' drive will continue. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Kelly back to throw, tucks it in, starts running to the near side, and is just absolutely brought down by 2 Phantoms, number 44 and 15. That was Smith and Beggs, who kind of corralled him down after a gain of about 4.
This was basically a quarterback keeper here. He just went back and pulled it right back under. I think this was designed all the way as a run. He gets a couple of yards on the run, but not what he needs.
Intercepted. That is number 84, Evans, on the interception.
And, Mike, if we see this on a replay, it appeared Maury had a man wide open on the far sideline.
He may have slipped down, but either way, Evans on the interception it looked like the receiver fell down.
Here's the replay on this. Let's see how much we can. So look at the far side there. You got a receiver wide open.
And the Maury player fall down, and there goes Evans looking for some blockers.
If Kelly had been able to see a little bit clearer on that play, he would have seen a good 10 yards over on the sidelines, a wide open receiver.
1st and 10 Phantoms as they intercept the pass. 1st and 10 at the 40.
7 minutes, 34 seconds.
Says that Brown up the middle for maybe a yard or 2.
He almost had a little tete-a-tete down there on the field between McMillan and another player, and it
looked like number 30, James Scott, and number 78, DeCarlos Melton on the stop for the Maury Commodores. A gain of about a yard. 2nd down and 9 with the ball sitting right inside of the Commodore 39-yard line. I tell you, they score here, it might take care of it.
It might. And, Mike, Maury is living by the pass, and they may end up going by the pass.
There's Mathis on a handoff up the middle. Now, they are absolutely running straight up the middle
up
now.
The gut. Well, Mike, when you've got Davenport, Jones, Hampton, and Purnell out there blocking for you, you're going to get some yardage. And that looked like, was that McMillan on that play that ran that one? Like it was number 11, McMillan, that got that one.
No, it's 27.
Was it Mathis?
Yeah, it was Mathis. 5 yards on to carry down to the 34. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 4 now for the Phantoms.
Going back to the intercepted pass, an old man once told me, when you pass the ball, there's 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are not good.
There is Haroon Brown right straight up the middle, fighting his way.
Still going.
Nice job by Haroon Brown slivers off a tackle and picks up big yardage for the first down. That'll continue the drive as it looks like a lot of the Maury players are starting to file out now.
Now here's what you call second effort here as Brown was stopped at about the 30-yard line.
It looked like Leroy Reynolds had him stopped there over on the side, and he spun out of the tackle and picked up another 2 or 3 or 4 yards.
My gosh, Mike, looks like a line of
Maury's hands are leaving a bit early here. And then Haroon Brown again, he's hit in the backfield.
And still goes.
Like the first player that hit him was number 20, Trevon Williams, and
that didn't do any good.
He kept
going.
Number 78 for him actually thought he did a good job and stopped him, but unfortunately for him, he still picked up a couple of yards. See, he's already celebrating.
Not realizing that the runner's still going.
Pick up a yard or 2 on the play and brings up a 2nd down and 8 inside the 25-yard line for the Phantoms.
Clock running down. Here are almost at 5 minutes left in this game. Darling Stadium as WHCS Channel 46 brings you Friday Night Football.
Here's a pitch out to Mathis on a sweep to the near side. Cuts it upfield to keep from going out of bounds. That was a great job to stop that thing from going out of bounds. Keeps the clock running. He's down near the 20-yard line.
Great pursuit by the Maury defense on that one, Mike, as the linebackers came right across, slid the whole way, did not allow Mathis to turn upfield. Great defense on their part. A little too late.
See him cut it back upfield to keep from going out of bounds. That kept the clock running down on the 20. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4 now for the Phantoms. We got to have player of the games here shortly as the truck is asking for them.
Yep, and in the truck we've got all sorts of good people.
Third down and 4 now for the Phantoms. Here's Mathis off the left side. He's going to be stopped about 2 yards shy of the first down. He's going to bring up a 4th down. What do you think?
Well, you mentioned a guy earlier, and I said, well, this is the guy. This is the one I had in mind for several reasons. Here's your replay of Mathis getting a few yards on that.
Timeout is being called by Maury now to stop the clock on a 4th down and 2 with 3:50 to go here in the 4th period.
We're at Darling Stadium on November the 24th, the day after Thanksgiving, bringing you Friday Night Football on WHCS Channel 46 Sports, Eastern Region Championship. This is the man I was thinking of earlier. Not just because of this.
Well, we got 2 of them now.
This happened several times, and he got it. And that's been impressive. He's been the go-to guy for that.
I'm okay with that.
Here's some great information I just got from our statisticians over there. This is not surprising. The only thing surprising is he didn't get twice as much as that. Mathis is over 105 yards in the game so far.
Ladies and gentlemen, thus far tonight, for the Phoebus Phantoms, number 27, Dennis Mathis, 22 carries, 108 yards.
We've still got a timeout here at Darling Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen,
Mathis has gone over 100 yards on the game. He's at we have him for 105 yards.
Got him over 105 yards, somewhere around in there.
I don't have a problem with either one of those.
Yeah, that like I said, that was mine from the get-go.
Go ahead. Send it to him. 4th down now, 2 for the Phantoms. They're going for it. Ball's handed off to Brown, and it looks like he is stopped for no gain. So Maury will take over the ball after the Phantoms were stopped. There's down to, here's a replay of that last play.
Haroon Brown getting the ball and getting us some yardage.
3 minutes and 46 seconds left before the end of the game. Phantoms out in front, 25-10.
And I just want to take a moment here once again. Usually we do this several times. The production crew today: cameras Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Bateman, Steve Fryer. Crane and camera Jeremy Ferries and Monique Bird. Graphics animation Andy Foley. And I'll continue here after this play.
Kelly back to throw, and he is absolutely swarmed under. I'm looking at the defensive backs. They've got 4 wide receivers out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 defenders. You're not going to have a 4 wide receivers open with 6 defenders, and the Phoebus Phantoms defense is just absolutely swallowing them up. Look at this.
Yeah, now look at the line. The line is putting so much pressure. Maury's offensive line has not been able to handle Phoebus's defensive line, and the offensive backs,
about 8. Back to pass again is Kelly. This time he cuts it across, and that one almost was intercepted there by 82.
That's Darius Swift.
And that would have been another 6 points if it had been a half a second earlier.
Mike, the defenders, as we watch the replay here, the reason he couldn't find anybody downfield, look at how he comes close to this, just knocks it out. But Phoebus's backs are about as close to the receivers as you and I are.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way they're going to be open.
3rd down and about 18 now for the Commodores.
And Phoebus is 1 play away from having another shutout here.
Back to pass is Kelly over the middle to a wide open receiver. It was behind him, and it falls incomplete. And that was intended for number 12, Lamar Johnson.
Aaron Hawkins, number 5.
Not going to be a shutout, by the way.
No, I said they were 1 play away from getting a shutout. That one pass play, which was a little bump and shove and turn there.
So 4th down here and a long, looks like 18 yards for Maury. And you're going to go for 2 wide outs to the near and far side, a single setback, and they moved early.
Movement there, yeah. And while we're waiting on that penalty, let me continue here with our crew. Camera control operator Sarah Myers, production assistant Renee Camden, audio and chief engineer Don Scharaus, the director and producer, the man himself, Scotty Bowers, and up in the booth, I'm Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser and Brett Musgrove.
In the neutral zone, 5 yards.
Mike, we've got one of the best crews there are. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have, let's wait for this play here, we'll have our players of the game.
5-yard penalty for encroachment on the Phantoms. Still 4th down and about 12 now. Back to passes Evans over the middle. He just lofts that up. That one was intended, almost intercepted, intended for number 21, James Butts, but the Phantoms will hold.
And here are our players of the game, Mike, for the Phoebus Phantoms. On offense, Haroon Brown, 2 touchdowns, several times throughout the game, 3rd and short situations, and he converts the 3rd down. And on defense, Landon Givers, who has been all over the place, and Mike, on that big play, went into the end zone and got the safety. These are 2 players of the game. Congratulations to Haroon Brown and Landon Givers, 2 of the great Phantom players.
Absolutely. I want to take note of one of the other Phantoms players that I thought did a tremendous job tonight, and that in the punting aspect for the Phantoms.
Was the
Cole.
kicker.
He had a couple of booming kicks that kept Maury out of Phantom territory on numerous occasions tonight. He did a tremendous job punting the ball. He had one punt that was 49 yards that drove Maury back deep in their own end zone and into the field. It kept them from doing anything. And he very well could have been one of our player of the games. He did a very good job.
Yes, he could.
Those were our player of the games.
And Mike, here's the replay of this one we just had. As 27
that
Mathis.
is number 27 Mathis on the carry. He just adds to his 100-plus yards in this game.
And on the same vein as the punter, Mike, and going back to last week, too, I've just been impressed with the offensive line of Phoebus, Dominique Davenport, Andre Purnell, Maurice Hampton, along with Charlie Jones. And then the defense, the line there, has just done a tremendous job.
Here goes Mathis again off the left side of the tackle this time, and he's down near the 10-yard line before he's brought down. And we're down to about 2 minutes to go as the clock continues to tick down.
And unless something really amazing happens,
we will be traveling to Northern Virginia next Saturday as they will take on that. Well, that's where it's going to be. It will either be at Potomac or Colonial Forge in the north. The eastern region has to travel to the northwest.
Now, Mike, if we go to Potomac,
is located in the northern part of the state.
Northwest. But will you be taking your wife to Potomac Mills?
Not
That's
hardly.
the question.
No.
I know Brent likes to go shopping. He'll probably stop by, well, if I were married. But, but
here's a handoff up the middle, I believe, to Haroon Brown. Picks up some good yards there.
Here's the replay as Haroon Brown gets more yards. Brent, do you know how many yards he's had tonight?
Yeah, that gets him down to the 5-yard line. That'll make it 1st and goal as the Phantoms are just kind of pulling back right now, and they're going to let the clock run out. We're down to 1:05 to go here as the Phantoms lead this one 25-10.
Looks like they're just going to take a knee.
That. $25-8 is the score here as we are under a minute to go, and Taj Boyd takes a knee, and that looks like that might do it. Well, he'll have to run another. He'll have to run another play.
34 seconds here.
But one more snap and a knee, and the Phoebus Phantoms will win the Eastern Region Championship here at Darling Stadium, and they will travel to the Northwest region of the state next Saturday afternoon, and they will take on the winner of the Colonial Forge Potomac contest, which will be played sometime tomorrow. There's Coach Bill D celebrating as
you can see all the fans down here.
The Peninsula District retains the Eastern Region Championship here at Darling Stadium again.
In a third meeting with the Maury Commodores.
They'll continue the dominance of the Eastern Region as the Peninsula will continue here. Down to 4 seconds. 2, 1, and that's it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Eastern Region champion, Phoebus Phantoms, right here at Darling Stadium, have defeated the Maury Commodores by a score of 25-8 on WHCS Channel 46. Mike,
what a great job that Phoebus's defense did tonight, and stopping, with the exception of that one long pass there at the beginning of the third period of play. They pretty much dominated this game from start to finish.
Oh, they did dominate it, Mike. They've dominated with their defense. They've dominated with their offense. Their running game is just, well, recently it's been unstoppable. Point blank, it's been unstoppable.
Oh, absolutely. They did a very good job containing their quarterback Kelly, and he had to have negative yards in rushing because there was numerous sacks in this game by the front line of the defense, and you got to give the defensive coaches extreme credit in this game because they absolutely had Maury's passing attack just bottled up. They covered the receivers pretty tightly throughout the entire contest, and Kelly couldn't find an open receiver.
And he wasn't going to find one. And coming into this playoff, Mike, everybody knew that the one weak spot for the Phantoms was passing. Well, I think they pretty much proved in the last 2 games that's not a weak spot. They're able to defend against the pass. Mike,
all right,
we've got some sponsors for this game.
Absolutely. And the final score here is the Phoebus Phantoms 25 and the Maury Commodores 8. Tonight's game is sponsored in part by Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula. Also, Subway, located at 1807 East Pembroke Avenue, where great subs and salads and wraps. And in part by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Call Eric to buy or sell your home at 881-2004. And also by Parkline Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the director there at Parkline Wood. Another great game by Peninsula District team. Another regional championship staying home here in the Peninsula District. The Phantoms 28 and the Maury Commodores 8. Mike Hauser along with
Paul Rowe. You've been watching WHCS Channel 46 Sports, where we bring you Friday Night Football, the Eastern Championships. Good night, everybody.